Hello and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapa Sikamura and welcome to season 3! Hope you guys are excited as I am to be back. Yes. So I've been gone for 2 weeks and so much has happened. But let's get straight into it. Oscar Pistorius' 6-year sentence has been overturned by the Supreme Court of Appeal to 13 years. Amazing. So I feel like, again, every once in a while, the justice system will do something that will make us think, oh my gosh, so maybe Doulas Nyamas is not a thing. So yeah, I just hope that this is the last chapter of this whole Oscar saga, and the Steenkamp family has been through a lot, and I hope that they do not have to deal with this any longer. Oscar just needs to sit in his prison cell and really think about what he did. So yeah, justice system again. Yeah, what's that? So thank you for that. Moving right along, Makosi Koza is launching a new political party. So, you know how I've always said, nah, man, I think that these politicians low-key watch Political Quickie. Because like they talk about something, we advise them low-key, and they take our advice. So here she is. The political party is named Change. And she's not just going after the ANC and bashing the ANC. The political party seems to stand for something. First of all, part of her team are two prominent members from the EFF. There are two things that sort of grab my attention that they're suggesting. Number one, they want South Africans to directly vote for their president and their deputy president. So very interesting. Secondly, they want the composition of parliament to change in the sense that they want 50% of MPs to be directly voted for by us. So we choose our own MPs. And the other 50% to come from the proportional representation electoral method. That's the one that we're using currently, where we vote for a certain political party and they choose within their party who is going to represent them in parliament. So yeah, very interesting. They've got a year or so to prove themselves if they want to contest in the 2019 elections. So for me, I'm just excited that there's, more options, because for me, my voting method was always, let's choose the least evil of the three between the ANC, the DA, and the EFF. So yeah, it'll be nice to have a little bit of change, but let's allow them to prove themselves in the next year and see what they really have. So not yet convinced, but I'm still waiting to see what they've got to offer. Other news, on international news, or other news over the border there in Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe has resigned as president of Zimbabwe. The saga began with Grace Mugabe wanting to succeed her husband as president. And that's where ZANU-PF apparently drew the line. It was like, nope, we can deal with a dictator. We just can't deal with a dictator's wife. So, that's when the army intervened because in the process, Emerson Mnangagwa, who was the vice president at the time, got fired. The army then surrounded Mugabe's Harare mansion, aka the Blue Roof, and put him and Grace under house arrest. The explanation of the whole thing was like, no, we're just purging criminals surrounding the president. This is not really a coup. But everybody was like, this is a coup. It is a coup. But they're like, nah, it's not a coup. We're just keeping them safe, apparently. Crazy events. I am just shocked that Mugabe actually resigned in our lifetime. I thought like he would outlive all of us all the way to the 22nd century and still be ruling as the Zimbabwean president. So very interesting stuff there. Then they changed the story, the army. So from protecting him to now saying, actually, this guy is going to resign. So there we were all waiting for Mugabe's resignation at a press conference they held. And Mugabe did not resign. He rambled on about a thing or another. And a video emerged after the press conference where General Chiwenga and Police Commissioner Chihuri were exchanging papers that looked like Mugabe's speech. So maybe one of them had the speech that had the resignation and one of them had the speech that he actually rendered. So very, very fishiness going on right there. Then they decided, nope, we'll just impeach him through parliament. But then before they could, actually debate the impeachment, a resignation letter came in from Mugabe, and that was it. Mugabe was gone. It was over. You know what? I will say one thing about Mugabe. Once upon a time, he had the right ideas, and he saw the West for what it really was. He understood what the United Nations and International Monetary Fund really were. He saw that the West constantly rapes Africa of its resources, and he was outspoken, so he was not liked because of that. But then on the other hand, he somewhat got greedy, and he forgot that it was more than about himself, and all he wanted to do was fill his pockets. And this is crazy because African leaders who understand and see the West for what it is are labeled either dictators or terrorists. But then they somehow also contribute to that. And it's like, come on! Come on. So yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Because once upon a time, he did have the right ideas. On the other hand, here's this guy, Emerson Mnangagwa, who is now the accidental hero. But from what I understand is that once upon a time, him and Mugabe, same WhatsApp group. So in terms of living in luxury and allowing the masses to starve, he was that guy. And now all of a sudden, he is our hero. So I don't know. What I do know is that Zimbabwe's got the potential to have the strongest economy in Africa. I mean, it's got one of the most hardworking people you'll ever come across in your life. And very literate people at that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I am concerned because General Chiwenga did travel to China a week before Mugabe was overthrown. So, and also the US and the UK are very quiet about this incident. Normally they are the most vocal people. When something is happening in the world, they're super vocal. So it's very interesting that they're very quiet. I do feel like there is a puppet master behind the puppet show who's really pulling the strings. So the question now is, sure, we are free of a tyrant, or rather Zimbabweans are free of a tyrant, but I feel like they've acquired a new master. And is that new master better than the devil they knew? So that's a very serious question to answer, and we'll just have to see. I mean, Thabo Mbeki did explicitly say in an interview that, Tony Blair, former Prime Minister of the UK, wanted to forcefully remove Mugabe as the Zimbabwean president. So, yeah, no, we'll see what happens. But I want to take this opportunity, and you know what? I actually want to apologize to all Zimbabweans. As a black South African, I feel like there were times, a lot of times, where we treated you guys like the scum of the earth, and that's not okay. Especially because you guys are our brothers and sisters. So it's really confusing, and it's crazy that black South Africans would rather treat white foreigners as their own than to treat black Africans as who they really are, our brothers and sisters. So I want to apologize that we can be the scum of the earth sometimes, and we can treat you guys like absolute crap, and that is not okay. That is not okay. And I'm not just apologizing because the South African economy right now, hey, looking very left, and you guys will actually get to rebuild, hopefully, your country. That's not why I'm apologizing. No. Anyways, moving on to the side note, on the side. The lucky word today, or the phrase, is hard work. So I want to keep it short and say, this is that thing that will separate you from the rest. You're not in competition. You're not comparing yourself. You're on your own path. Hence, you can never ever be better than anyone because you are walking on your own path. But what you need to understand is that for you to rise above, you just simply need to work hard. I mean, you can have a vision, etc., but hard work is that simple thing that our generation seems to be forgetting. We don't want to work hard for anything. I mean, just to wake up at very early in the morning and to actually get to work and to focus on what it is that you want to do, it's just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of work. So we need to get back to the basics and understand that there's a big price to pay for the goals that we want to achieve. And hard work is that big price to pay. It is a really huge price to pay. So let's fold up our shirts and let's get to work. Especially black South Africans, I know there's a lot to complain about, but we need to understand that we need to take some sort of responsibility in the sense that the government is not coming to save us. So it's up to us to actually rebuild ourselves. It's up to us. It's absolutely up to us. Never mind all the things that we can complain about. We need to find a way to fight. We need to find a way to rebuild. So yeah, let's vugama kandeni and actually get to work. Yes, that was political quickie. Next week we will discuss the situation in Libya. It's disgusting. Black people are being auctioned off as slaves. So it's, people are very silent about this. I don't understand why, but it's something that's disgusting that's going on. So we'll discuss that next week. Stay woke. Use your talents to serve humanity. Be awesome. I love you guys. I will see you next week.